Welcome! I'm Greydon, and this has been Buster, where I buy, watch, and review bargain bin movies for you. Today's movie comes to us all the way from 2016. Yeah, from the past. It's Hail Caesar by the Cohen brothers, Joel and Ethan Cohen. This exceptional all-star cast movie takes place in the 1950s Hollywood, where they have a guy known as a fixer. The fixer is kind of like a PR person today. He's there to make sure that the stars don't get in trouble. If something happens in their personal lives, he makes up some story about it, and that's what's believed in the newspapers. Kind of like in this movie, where it starts off with they're building this great epic in here, and the main actor, Whitlock, is kidnapped, and he's brought back to this mansion where he's held captive. And Josh Brolin's character, the fixer, he comes in and makes up this cockamamie story. Oh, yeah, he's not here because he has a high ankle sprain. He heard it on set. And that's what's believed, as he's trying to figure out what happened to his leading man. This movie is a 1950s love letter to Hollywood movies at that time by the Coen brothers. Quentin Tarantino did better in The Hateful Eight to 70 millimeters, but this is the Coen brothers' take on that. Big epics like Ten Commandments, Greatest Story Ever Told, Ben-Hur, movies like that. Movies that defined a genre, defined Hollywood for years. This is their love letter to it. This is also like a mystery noir caper, a cop caper. I think it should have been more of that and less of all the side stories. But I understand with a cast this big and this many stars, everyone needed their personal screen time. I understand that. I'm fine with that. But it could have worked out better. Like I said, the good of this movie that I'm going to cover right now is the cast. Phenomenal cast, like I said. You have Josh Brolin and George Clooney, who I've mentioned. Scarlett Johansson's in here. Frances McDormand. Gilda Swinton plays twins. Jonah Hill's in here. Aldrich Emerson, who played Han Solo in the Solo movie, is in here. Ralph Fiennes. It's Rafe, not Ralph. Even though it's spelled like Ralph, it's Rafe. Ralph Fiennes is in here too. It's an exceptional star cast. And speaking of Ralph Fiennes, he's actually hilarious in there. Him and Aldrich Emerson have this little banter back and forth, and it's just so hilarious. It made me chuckle. And now a lot of things in movies make me chuckle because I've pretty much seen them all, or I kind of find humor in different things than most people do. So this actually made me laugh. Like I said, it made me chuckle. Another good thing is having the movie within the movie. They're building this epic. So yes, it had to feel like you're in a movie theater. You're in a movie set. You're in a movie studio set. You had to be at this theater. You had to be at this studio. And you had to see all this stuff. Yes, I understand that. But it also is on my bad list because of something else I'm going to cover soon. It just felt like it was too much. Let me get there. It just felt like it was too much in this film at times. It felt like a bunch of SNL skits put together. Every time Josh Brolin had to go somewhere, oh look, let's change the set. Oh look, here's a musical number by guys in the Navy talking about how they're going to miss the dames. How they're going to miss the women when they're out at sea. I didn't need to see that whole thing. I didn't need to see it. It served no purpose in that movie, but to bring forth a character that later is revealed to be one of these commies who kidnapped George Clooney's character in the movie. Yeah. That's the only purpose this scene sets up for, is to show you that character. Like I said, the cast kind of bogged this down. I think, like, Frances McDormand's editor character and Scarlett Johansson's character could have probably been played by a lesser-known actor or actress, like Aldrich Emerson. I did not know who this guy was until Solo. He was in this movie before Solo. I knew he was in here. I didn't really care that he was in here. Like, he he's relatively a no-name at this point in time in this movie. Get more guys like that. Jonah Hill was perfect in his role as the one guy the legal aid who just writes stuff and stamps stuff. That was hilarious. Wayne Knight is in this movie as an extra, and he gets hit in the head with the sheath of the sword. His reaction's awesome. He's just playing a liar and gets hit in the face. Hilarious. Wayne Knight is a comic genius. I don't care what people say. He is. But anyways, I digress. But anyways, we're going to go back to this movie. I don't really think this film lives up to the Coen brothers' expectations. You're talking about two brothers who won an Academy Award. Won 4 Academy Awards. 4. Fargo and No Country for Old Men, to name 2 of them. Not to mention Big Lebowski and Burn After Reading, which are 4 films I love. These are not their best. Those are some of their best films. This one, Hail Caesar, is not. It's a middle-of-the-road fare for them. There's some things there that just felt rushed. They were like, oh, we need to add this character. Just felt like it was a first draft at times. It felt like it was just a first draft that they ran with and said, oh, let's make this movie. Rough draft it out. Here we go. It's ready to go. But at times it felt polished. It felt like a big budget Hollywood movie. That's kind of the Coen brothers' nuances. They kind of throw inside jokes in there about things that only people who in the know would know. There's jokes in here about Hollywood and how these comedies in this group are all writers and they don't get the credit for where credit's due. So they kidnap the main actor and hold him hostage for $100,000, which at that time was a lot of money. They get the money. They go to give it to the guy played by Channing Tatum, who's the commie. And he has the money. His dog decides he doesn't want to leave him. Jumps up, so he catches the dog. The money drops into the water. How funny was that? Because here they are, did all this work, is there as the cowboy, Aldrich Emerson, is saving George Clooney and bringing him back as the cops are coming by to arrest everybody. Yep, that's how the film ends there, and the fixer stays. Josh Brolin's character stays there instead of working for Lockheed Martin, which is a big firm now. Yeah. So he likes his job. He wants to stay there. He does that. My rating for this film, out of 5, I give it a 3. A 3. Like I said, it's not their best, which would be a 5. It's not their worst, which would be a 1. It's a middle of the road. So 3 is a middle road. It's funny in the Coen brothers style of humor. Not everyone's going to like it. Like I said, I chuckled at spots. I facepalmed myself at spots. I shook my head. I'm like, I can't believe they did this. Yeah. And that's most of their movies. I'm like, oh. Sometimes I'm just gripped at their watching, and sometimes I'm just like, really? You guys did this? Okay. This is not everyone's cup of tea, so sound off below. What is your favorite Coen brothers film? Mention it down below. And also, do you agree or disagree with me? Sound off down below as well. I want to talk to you guys about this film and talk to you about more films. So hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up icon, and hit the bell notification for more videos like this. And remember, always, have a great night. Have a good night. Make it a movie night. And don't forget to dive right in.